Yo, what's up, guys? It's Jeffrey Ellison. Shout out to Grind City Hoops. Shout out my man Donovan. He's up and coming. I see he's doing this thing with Memphis Hoops, Grizzlies. Like, bro, you really doing your thing, man. So no problem, man. Anytime, you my guy.
You know I'm a hot boy, but I ain't never lose my cool. The streets on fire, that's why I'm riding with my tool.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Grind City Hoops. I'm your host, Donovan McLemore, and today we got a special guest, one of my close friends. We've been hooping together for a little minute now. We got Jeffery on the pod, so Jeffrey, just, introduce yourself a little bit, say a little bit of your background and, why you're on the show today.
Yeah, what up? Like he said, I'm Jeffrey Ellison. I'm from Waldorf, Maryland. I play point guard, 5'8". Me and Donovan, like you said, we go way back. I actually started like at University of Maryland basketball camp. We had some good days over there. But I've been playing basketball since I was 5, and definitely my journey, it's been a journey to say the least. And I've always wanted to play at the highest levels, and right now, I'm trying to write my own story and just keep on pushing. So that's a little bit about me.
Oh yeah, man, I definitely feel that. So, how did you say you started playing basketball at the age of 5? So how did you, get into basketball? Who showed you like, this is what you want to do? Did you play other sports before basketball, or was it just like always, basketball?
Right. So the crazy thing is I really never played a sport until I was like 3 or 4. And then my mom actually, she signed me up for county ball. We started doing rec stuff, rec leagues and all that stuff. And from there is like, you couldn't get me out. Like, I always wanted to play basketball. They couldn't get me in baseball. I tried playing soccer, a couple of soccer tournaments at my elementary school, and it just didn't work out. Like, I always like touch the ball in my hands and stuff, which is, you can't do that in soccer. So right then, like, I knew like basketball was for me. And, ever since then, it's just been really one sport. Like, I have athleticism and stuff like that, but I always chose to stick to basketball.
I feel that. So, give the people like, just a taste of like the WCAC. So, because I have a lot of viewers that aren't really from this area. So, they don't understand how competitive the DMV is, especially with basketball. Me and like the talent here is unreal. So like, the difference between like, a regular high school and like going to like, these WCAC schools or private schools in general, and how the game is just evolved there.
Right. So we could start with like recruiting first. So like WCAC schools, basically majority of them, they get the top guys coming there and transferring in. So, your typical D1 guys like Hunter Dickinson, Jeremy Roach, Doug McDaniel, all those guys, like you're going to see them on TV. You're going to see Jeremy Grant, Quinn Cook was the Matha guy, Victor Oladipo. Like you see those guys, all WCAC guys, they're in the NBA, they're all over. Like it's super competitive. So I guess to speak on the WCAC part, like, man, you could be tough, bro. You might not even get minutes. Like that's how crazy it is. Like you could be really solid. I think that's how it was. So I went to 2 WCAC high schools. I didn't get the varsity till my junior year, which was actually at a different school, Bishop Ireton High School in Alexandria. And throughout my years, I got better, especially like my senior year, but really couldn't find minutes like that in rotation. So it's definitely hard to say to go on your point. Like, man, just because there's so many talented players that play in that conference and just they're trying to get it, man. So
right, the talent's unreal in the WCAC, but I do want to touch on how competitive the game has got. There's a lot of guards. Everyone wants to play guard nowadays. Bigs are a rarity nowadays. Everyone has guard skills, whether you're 5'8" your height or someone that's 7 foot. Everyone can handle the ball, pull up, shoot, whatever. So what separates you from everyone else?
Yeah. Right now, I feel like, I really try to hang my hat on using my quickness and speed to get up and down the court, to get opportunities for myself and my teammate. Me and my dad, we talk about it. My coaches talk about it. You got to have a shot, like especially at my height, especially if you want to make it at the next level and keep on going and really make a name for yourself. So I think right now, just working on being a more consistent shooter. And, I'm probably going to get more muscle. I'm going to be in the weight room this summer, but it's probably going to enhance more when I get on campus, like, because I know in order to be able to compete, like I got to get more mass on me, because those guys are probably going to make me a liability just by backing me down, because they might not be able to keep up with me, or they might not be able to do other things with me, so they got to use their advantage. So I think that's it.
Just moving, transitioning to high school, you touched on it a little bit. How many high schools you transferred from? How hard was it finding the right spot for you in high school?
Man, I mean, it's tough too, because basketball is like, it's a lot of politics as well. Like, man, it's a lot of connections. Like, So I actually my one of my assistant coaches that I played freshman for at McNamara, he put in a word for me at Ireton, but I really wasn't a recruited guy like that coming in my second high school Ireton. It's kind of like I went in there and and got it, getting the opportunity. So just transferred. It was yeah, I would say it was the best for me, but it wasn't easy. It kind of just took a chance in a way, and it really worked out. Like from both school basketball, I think it could have worked out better, but definitely school wise, like I really liked the school more than my first school. I made a lot of friends there, and and I really enjoyed my last couple of years of high school.
Absolutely. So let's shift it back on to like on the court. So when you're on the court, you know what I'm saying, like you're a point guard, you gotta be, the extension of the coach. So
Yeah.
when you're on the floor, like what is your, if a coach came out to see you or, I came out to watch you again, what is like, your strengths of your games and what is some parts of your games that you like, okay, like, moving forward, I wanna, improve.
I definitely say well. So going to answer your first question, I think something that you see me do again: get up and down the court, make good passes to my teammate by using my speed, hitting the open shot, playing defense, and trying to bring energy. But something I think I'll be able to improve on is just, being able to kind of like, I don't want to say, I would say slow the game down a little bit because I think my senior year, I think that's one reason too why I struggled to really find solid millions in rotation. Like, when you're in the game, you're kind of go mode, especially me.
Right.
But kind of like being able to be a better point guard, like vocally too. Like I'm more of a leader by example, but being vocal, being able to slow down, get people in their spots, get people in their sets, and just learning to make sure I like learn the offense too, because we had a lot of plays to start off when I got to Ireton my senior year. So just being able to learn the plays right out the back is
Absolutely. I definitely feel that. So now we talked about on the court. So let's talk about, off the court, just the mental side of the game. You touched on it, earlier in your career and even parts of your senior year. Your minutes were kind of sporadic, it was up and down here and there. How did you stay mentally locked in and focused, even though like, some games you would have high minutes, some games you didn't, and you could still stay locked in?
Man, being honest with you, I'm a work in progress, man. Mental toughness is definitely one of the parts of my game that I got to get, because you could play, but it's just you got to prove it, man. You got to prove it to those that don't believe. And I think just taking it one day at a time, one rep at a time. I'll be lying. There was a lot of dark days, man. Just talking to my parents and stuff, man, just helping me stay up, just keep working and a lot of things too. Like, there's a lot of trash talking basketball too. So you got to be able to just block it out and just be able to be able to keep going. And I was always taught like let your game do the talk, and that's why a lot of people I feel like probably think they could come at me in a way because if you see me on the court, I'm kind of like a mellow, humble guy. But at the same time, like man, I'll try to go at you too, especially like just with my game, not with talking, just with by my play. So.
Definitely. I understand that completely. So transitioning, we're going to get close to wrapping this up in a second, but which one do you think helped you, not just with recruitment, but just your development as a player? Do you think, going to a WCAC school helped you more or playing for your AAU squad helped you more?
Um, I say for development, probably playing in the WCAC because you're basically playing against guys and competing with guys that are just good, if not better than you, and high level practices. No matter how bad your team is or whatever, like it really you see what it takes because every single night you're basically playing against a D1 guy, multiple D1 guys. So it didn't necessarily help me with recruiting and stuff. Maybe it was the program or whatever, but it definitely helped me in terms of like developing my game because if anything, it made me more aware of what I had to do and the work I got to put in.
Absolutely. So just announce to the people where you're going to college next year.
I'm going to Barton College. It's a D2 school in North Carolina.
Nice. So going to that college next year in North Carolina, what should people expect from you coming in next season? Obviously, you're coming in as a freshman. Even with the transfer portal and all the COVID, craziness that's going on, what should people expect from you? Not just as, on the court as a talent, but just as a person on campus and his character and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, first off, as a person on campus, you're gonna see, a guy that wants to be a part of his community and wants to make well with people. And then on the court, you're just gonna see a guy that's basically trying to make a name for himself, and just trying to show that I belong. Now I know, like, as a freshman, the chances of you probably playing or even getting in that mix is slim to none. But I always believe like anything's possible through God and like hard work. But I also got to balance that with reality also, man. And so I think I'm winning, in my opinion, if by the end of the year I establish myself in a program by basically my work ethic showing I could play and skill, and that's having that set me up for my later years. Like the following year, maybe I get a chance to be actually in the rotation and be a contributor if I don't get that chance my freshman year, and just and just just being able to be a contributor maybe in my later years if I don't get that chance this year, and just learning. So that.
Absolutely. And I think people don't. I think people lose sight of that too, like how difficult it is, not just playing basketball, but just like still it's easy to put a lot of shots on, get work in. Like when on the court, you're playing, you're getting minutes, you're the number one guy, but can you still show up? When like you might not be in the rotation yet, you might be one of the lower classmen, and you're just trying to find your way. Can you still put in the same work? Like people don't understand like how difficult that is. Still showing up on time, still taking stuff seriously, eating right,
Yeah.
not falling out of shape. So I
Yeah.
mean, it shows a lot to anyone that can do that, and it's just what we have to do. It's the reality of the game today. It's just so competitive with the transfer portal and the COVID stuff. And even in high school, it's bananas now. So
Yeah. I feel like that's part of the reason why I picked the program too, because like I said, regardless, like one of the things when I was getting recruited to come there, like they told me, regardless, we're going to try to work to develop you as a player, no matter where you're out on the roster or on the depth chart. We're going to try to develop you, and that's going to work in the long run, because if you got, they told me like no matter what, like if you got the work ethic and stuff, eventually it's going to come. Like you just got to be able to put in the time and just know that be patient, know your time's going to come eventually.
man, absolutely. But as always, man, I appreciate hollering at you, man. I appreciate you coming on the show, man. You're
Yes, sir.
the first guest on the show. So, man, I appreciate that supporting me, man. I appreciate you coming on the show, man.
Yes, sir.